because my fear is that technology will fail me in the last moment. So I have a secret, okay? Several months ago, I don't know how many months ago, because like time is a concept that just escapes me now. I'm like so focused on so many different things, I gotta slow down and just be in the moment, right? So I don't always have a good concept of time or the past. But when Rachel was like, hey, I got this really great idea. I want to do this event. I want Danny Smith to come from Arizona. I want to put this together, and I want you guys to be a speaker and give me ideas for topics. This is what I picked, okay? I was like, you know what, I think I'd really like to speak on clear communication, engaged listening, and leading with authenticity. Well, about a month ago, I sat down and put my presentation together. I was like, what was I talking about? Oh my gosh! What did I even say? I'm like, where did that even come from, and how do I even know what those things are? Right? It was like, do I know what those things are? So immediately I went into like my mode of, oh my gosh, I don't think I actually know what those things are, right? But I actually do, right? Because this is a journey. It's about the journey in dōTERRA, and that's why they say that this business will grow you and change you, because it's about you and you doing you. And that's what people connect with, right? So we start with some basics, you know? And I realized when I was thinking about all of this and reflecting that I'm not done learning, right? Like, I'm so aware of that. I love to learn. It's one of my top 5 strengths. It's learner, strategic, ideation, all the ideas. Oh my gosh. So many ideas all the time. Thank God I have Elena, because she's like, you can't do all these ideas. Thank God I have Rachel, because she's like, yeah, you might want to narrow it down. It's a little too broad. I think this might have even been bigger, and I like gave her like a page of ideas, and she's like, okay, let's dive back. So I'm so grateful that I have all of these amazing people in my life to help me grow into who I'm going to be. But you know what? I'm cool with who I am now, too, because it's about the journey. And I'm also so grateful that you guys are here and that you're willing to be present and give us your time, because it is the greatest gift that you guys have to offer. And I feel so honored to be able to stand in front of you and share just a smidgen, just a tiny smidgen of what I know, okay? So let's start with some basics. So what is communication? It's a two-way process of reaching a mutual understanding. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but take a minute, go ahead. Go read it. I got this from the Business Dictionary. Super official, legitimate. So in general, it's connecting. It's a means of connecting with people. So you're gonna hear me talk a lot about connection today, because this is really the foundation for all of our interactions, is how do we connect with people, okay? And sometimes it's like the most small things that we don't think about that can make a huge difference in how people see us, right? It can make us approachable, or it can make us seem closed off, it can make us seem confident, or it can make us seem scared, right? How we present ourselves, how we communicate, says a lot about us. So, let's get back to the basics. I love this because, you know, leadership, they were talking about getting back to the basics. So I picked up some wisdom there. So if you hear me talking about stuff tonight, probably it's not original, okay? I have learned all of this over the course of time. And if I haven't cited something that sounds familiar, it's just because I don't know where I learned it and I can't remember. And Google doesn't know either. Okay. My life is comprised of movie quotes that are extremely significant to me. So this is the wisdom of Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi, so influential in my life. Look I, always look I. Okay, you just remember Mr. Miyagi, okay, and the Karate Kid, because Daniel-san would have got slapped. He was not looking I in that last round, right? He would have totally been taken down by the Cobra Kai, which, side note, is also a YouTube original now, the Cobra Kai. I gotta get into that. I'm gonna binge watch at some point. So anyways, Miyagi, look I. Making eye contact is important. Does anybody know why making eye contact is important? It's a form of connection, right? It's the first thing that you see when you see people. You look in their eyes. You're acknowledging them. You know that they're there with you, okay? You look at them in their eyes. You're not like off in outer space, like some of us.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just kidding. She's really good at looking people in the eye. Wasn't she awesome? Oh, I have another secret, just one little secret I'll share. You know that, how she made you stand up at the end? She did that on purpose. She wanted a standing ovation. She did it on purpose. She had it all planned out. I am not a good secret keeper. That's not my top 5 strengths. I don't think that's a strength at all. Anyways, good thing to remember, look people in their eyes. I mean, it's not a staring contest, you know? I remember being at leadership this past time, and I met Mark Garrett for the first time, and I felt like it was a staring contest. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's a dolphin. And I was looking at him, and I was like, I can't look away. I can't look away, and there's like fish like swimming over us, literally. We were in a tube of whales. It was the most bizarre thing, so surreal. I really felt like otherworldly at that point, but you know, it was a really great experience. That was the only staring contest I've had recently. But you know, you don't want to look into their eyes so long that they're uncomfortable or that they can't blink. Okay, you can blink. It's okay. It's okay to blink. You need to hydrate your lenses. Okay. Oh, Elena is so good. She has agreed to come up on stage. I found this graphic. I thought it was great on how to do a manly handshake. So I thought it was super appropriate that I asked my wife to come up here so we can demonstrate this for you. Because, you know, one of the things about me that most of you will know is that I am a storyteller. And so my story of learning how to do a handshake, I think I was like 14 or 15, and my mother, she was this like really large, she is a larger than life type of person. She's really funny, she's super inappropriate, super embarrassing. You know, she's always the first one to like crack a joke, but she also has like these really serious convictions about and like things that are important. And one of the first things that she taught me about business and meeting people was how to give a good handshake. All right, who's familiar with the kind of handshake where it feels like somebody's not even there and they're like a limp? All right, okay. So Elena and I are going to do a little demonstration for you, okay? And then we're going to practice. We're going to have some hands-on practice, okay? We're going to shake it out. We're going to shake it out with each other. All right, Elena. Come on. Oh, this is what I call the Prince Charming. Okay, I'm not going to kiss her hand, right? I could. But I'm not going to kiss her hand, so don't put your wrist in. No, that's not what we're going for, okay? We want to make sure that we're making eye contact. Okay, try again. No, This is the cliffhanger. This is like the Sylvester Stallone, you know, when he's like got her and they're over the cliff and like they're dangling and then he like lets go. We're not like trying to save anybody's life here. It's not like, oh, death grip. No. Okay, try again. No. Come on. Oh, that's nice. See, she's not like, you know what I mean? You got a nice little tight package here. You know, little squeeze, no death grip, don't vice it. You don't want to squeeze their hands, don't break their bones. They'll need a hand adjustment or a cast. Okay, just a nice squeeze. Let them know that you're there. Why is a handshake important? It is a physical form of connection. It's like a physical way that you're introducing yourself to someone. And it says a lot about you when you do a good handshake. And I actually get compliments on my handshake, believe it or not. I also like a compliment, you know, like Elena. Thank you so much, Elena. Appreciate your help. She loves to be on stage. Is she good? I'm not going to sing for you, though. So anyways, you get it? Physical form of connection, okay? You're forming that connection. So I love it when people are like, wow, you got a good handshake. I'm like, oh, did I squeeze their hand too hard? Who cares? All right, body language, all right? So body language speaks volumes without actually saying anything, okay? So when our posture is closed like this, or if we're like having a conversation with somebody and our arms are crossed and folded, it can make us seem unapproachable, unfriendly, unkind. can show anxiety, hostility. I mean, I don't think, you know, like this is like not a good way to have like a wellness overview, you know? The LLV is just so great. When you have an open posture, you're very welcoming, right? People feel comfortable, right? You're not like standing like Superman, although that's a really great practice, like do the Superman pose. Learned that from Grey's Anatomy. See, movie and show wisdom, it's all over. You can find personal development and wisdom anywhere, literally anywhere. Your kids, TV, and books, of course books. Anyways, so be conscious of your body language. It says a lot, okay? It says a lot about you. It says a lot about your confidence. And you know what? Sometimes that fake it till you make it thing, that has some legitimacy, right? Like if you're not feeling super confident, that doesn't mean you can't look like you feel confident. That doesn't mean you can't sound confident. You know, we all have fears. And I think that that's one of the things that I wanted to tell you about by sharing that little secret, is that, you know, we all go through challenging times. We all have fears, and we just have to use those fears as something that will help us change and grow, and not run away from them or let them stop us. It happens at every level in the business. It happens from the time that you have your first one-on-one to the time you are a presidential diamond or a double presidential diamond, all throughout your life. And it should, and it's necessary, because that's what helps propel you forward, are those challenges. You have to be kind when you communicate with people. Kindness matters. It matters so much. It matters so much. Kindness, generosity, friendliness, right? Who wants to be kind? Who can walk by a person on the street and smile and look them in the eye and show kindness? We live in a very busy day and age where everybody is like on the street, they're walking, they're looking at their phone, they're like walking around looking at their phone, they run into you. I have made it my own personal challenge to always walk and look at people. And you know, sometimes I like have a little challenge, I'm gonna make some people uncomfortable today. I'm gonna stare at them and I'm gonna smile and I'm gonna say hello, because you know, I don't know if you guys know this about people in New Hampshire, but they don't always like to talk. So I'm like, hi! And they were like, oh, you're not from around here. No, I hope to be one day, but I'll never be a native New Englander, that's for sure. So anyways, it can make somebody's day, though. A little kindness goes a long way. All right, so all this engaged listening. Okay, what am I actually talking about? I had to figure out what I was talking about. So engaged listening. Liz, what are you doing with this topic? Okay, whatever do you mean? All right, I'm going to tell you. Basically, engaged listening means listening to someone as much as you want to be heard. Think about that for a minute. Let it sink in. Let it sink in. Oh. Who likes being heard? Let's show of hands. Who likes it when people hear them? Yes. Yes. You like to be heard. I like to be heard. But even in conversation with my wife, I like to be heard. And I like to be acknowledged. It's important. It's important when you feel heard. You feel validated, right? So it's a way to communicate value. You feel important. You feel important. And when you feel truly heard, you feel like you're the center of the universe for a few moments. And that feels darn good, you know? Because it doesn't happen a lot. You know, we don't have meaningful engagements enough in our life. We're so busy going from one task to the next, we don't slow down to have those meaningful connections. And it's really important to do that. And to be truly present, right? It's a practice. It's hard. It's hard to stay present. It's hard for me. It's a daily challenge. And I have moments of great awareness where I'm like, yes, I feel peaceful, I'm in the moment, this is great. And then I have moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, I got 1,000 things to do and 1,000 places to be, and I'm not where I want to be yet. But they have to bring it back to being present and staying aware, right? Engaged listening is an action and a state of mind. And it's an attitude and a mindset, okay? With everything that you do, when you truly want to be present for someone, it's almost like the most valuable way you can show up for people. is to listen and to hear them, right? But you have to practice it. It doesn't come overnight. And again, it's one of those things where you're like, all right, I gotta start weaving this in. I have to be aware. It starts with your awareness. Being aware of when you're listening. Being aware of when those moments are coming and when they're important. So you gotta try to stay present. You gotta be as free from distraction as possible. Who was at the yoga studio class last night? Okay, great, this is good. So our children were running around like nut jobs, which is what children do, is that right? And that's hard, right? Like, it's hard to have things going on in the background and have meaningful conversations. And we do what we have to in those moments. Like, we didn't have childcare. They had to come. That was it. You know, we had to make do. Was it ideal? No. Could we still stay present? Yes. You know, was it harder? It was. But we were able to do it because we're aware of things and we work on things. We do it perfectly? No. Perfect does not exist. Erase the perfection from your minds. So when you're listening to people, when you're practicing engaged listening, ask questions. Ask questions about what they're saying. It helps to validate them, okay? And take notes when needed. Hey, you know, if you're talking to someone and they take notes, that is a really good sign. It's never going to be a bad thing to take notes, to write down something that might be important. And also, don't pretend to understand something you don't. I'm going to give you a great example of this. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm going to share this with you, but you need to hear it. So the first year of our dōTERRA journey, we just could not understand the comp plan. I don't know why, I don't know what it was about it, I don't know if it was because I have some kind of math or number block, which Scott has said he will help me with one day when I make time for math. I will make that time, I promise. Anyways, Elaine and I would have these conversations with Rachel. We'd be like, Rachel, what does it all mean, Bethel? Tell us the secrets of the compensation plan. Explain the uni level again. Explain it, we don't understand. So she would explain it and she'd be like, you understand that? And we'd be like, yeah, we got it. Totally got it. And we both get in the car and be driving away and I'd be like, Elaine, you totally got it, right? Yeah, you got it. She's like, no, I thought you got it. I'm like, oh my gosh, we didn't get it again. And that happened like 7 or 8 more times. Finally, something clicked somewhere along the way, thank God, because I really didn't want to have to ask her for like a 10th time, you know? But, you know, it did sink in eventually. But it could have been a lot easier had we not, you know, pretended to just understand or assumed that the other one got it and they really didn't. I think that's another tricky thing about having a partner is that you like kind of rely on like what they are hearing and you're like, oh, I can space out, you know, because like I have a tendency like to hear numbers and then like, oh, I'm like, what's for breakfast? You know, oh, I'm gonna make an omelet. Sounds good. Oh wait, what? 7 level? What does that mean? Power 3? Okay. No, I got that right away. The power 3 was easy. Okay. So, you know, when you let your mind wander, you just have to have that awareness and bring it back. It's a practice, just like anything else. So I'm geeking out like hardcore on Brené Brown now. Anybody in here know Brené Brown? Know who she is? Yeah? Right? Is she amazing? Okay, I feel like I'm going down a Brené Brown wormhole. But if you have not read any Brené Brown and you struggle with self-worth or you struggle with confidence or you have a hard time understanding what authenticity is, read some Brené Brown. That shit will set you straight. Sorry, first person. Sorry, Danny. Just slipped out. So anyways, authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we are supposed to be and embracing who we actually are. Let that sink in for a minute. Letting go of who we think we are supposed to be and embracing who we actually are. That's hard to do sometimes. We're always in a place of wanting to be better, wanting to be at that next level, looking to the future, dreaming about the future, right? And it's good to dream. It's important to dream. But it's also okay to be where you are and to be who you are today, okay? Because who you are today probably is not going to be the same. You'll have some of the same qualities that you have today in 5 years from now. But you will have more of your qualities in 5 years from now, in 10 years from now? And truthfully, from a philosophical perspective, just don't get me started. I will go there. I have 2 degrees in philosophy. That's about it. I can only have conversations. The only thing I can do. But we're not going to be 100% who we are until the day we are gone. That's the profound truth of our life. So if we are always looking to the next day, to the next year, to the next rank, to the next level, to being just somewhere a little bit further along, or I'm going to be happy if I could only, right? Like, that's hard. If we're always looking for the next thing to make us happy, we can't be happy right now. I think that was from leadership as well. Not original. Totally not original. Just, I'm being transparent with you guys here. All right. So authenticity. You got to act as if, though, right? Elena was talking about manifesting and manifesting your future, right? But you have to change your behaviors, and then your mindset will follow. You change your behaviors, and then your mindset will follow. It's a practice. It's like a muscle. You have to work it out. And you have to do the work. Self-development is a huge thing. We all have different issues. We all have different things, different aspects of ourselves where we are working hard, right? Where we are trying to break through boundaries, we're trying to grow, we are trying to push through, right? I know I have like 789 things that I'm working on currently. And I do a lot of different kinds of self-development. I read, I attend seminars, I go to dōTERRA events. Convention is mind-blowing if you have not been. I highly recommend you go. It is amazing, it is fulfilling, and you are around, 30,000 people who share some of the similar values and beliefs that you do. We're not all cookie cutters, we're not all the same, but that's part of what makes us all awesome, is that we have like similarities, right? But we all have our uniqueness. You gotta find what works for you, right? I love therapy too. I mean, I really do. Therapy is amazing. I'm like a therapy junkie. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, Elena, let's do couples therapy. That sounds real fun. Elena's like, oh my gosh, please no. I am the spiritual counselor. And I'm like, okay, you could be your spiritual counselor. I'm gonna bring you that. We're gonna go see this lady. She's like, okay. She just says yes. Like, this is carrying over from pregnancy for Elena. Like, she just said yes to me. That's how we got into dōTERRA. Is because I was like, we're gonna buy some essential oils and a diffuser, okay? We're gonna get some dōTERRA. I know a lady. And it's happening. She was like, yes. Because the angels told her to say yes to me. Thank you, angels. All right, they're working for me too. Seek mentoring. My mentors have helped me grow so much, okay? Have a good relationship with them. Be coachable. My goodness gracious. I mean, I gave some people a run for their money about coachableness because I came into this business like, I'm a natural leader. I was a Girl Scout. I worked at Girl Scout camp. I ran that camp. I did leadership. I did the challenge courses. I did high ropes. I did high adventure training. Well, guess what? It doesn't really translate to be the same thing. And you can't know everything about leadership because part of being a good leader is being coachable, right? Is being coachable and allowing every situation in your world to change you. And allowing yourself to be able to look at your people, look at your sharers, look at your builders, look at your leaders, and see in them a little bit of you. And see how it can make you a little bit better. And also to be humble enough, right? Humble is like so important to me. I know it seems like I'm a little bit of an ego freak because I'm up here cracking jokes, but this is actually insecurity. It's okay. That's what happens. I get insecure, I become funny. It's great. I'll leverage that. I'm gonna own it, okay? This is me being vulnerable for you. Thank you, Brene Brown. All right, so also, leaving behind the judgment of others. Holy cannolis. The judgment of others is so hard, right? I don't know about you guys, and not everybody has this issue. Like, some people are really good at just being like, hey, I don't really care what anybody else thinks. I'm going to do me. I'm fine with it. I'm going to do me, and I'm going to keep on doing me. Good. Well, when that little hamster wheel starts a turning, in your brain, and you're like, oh my gosh, what do they think of me? Oh my God, I said the wrong thing. Oh my God, I just said a curse word. I should have said a curse word. I'm supposed to be a professional, right? Like these things are what goes through my mind. And then I'm like, but you know what, I'm okay, you know? So you gotta remember that you're okay, all right? And not to let the judgment of others bring you down. Because what other people think of you is really none of your business if you're doing the right things. So all you gotta do is do the next right thing and do the best you can. You gotta be kind and you gotta accept change. Practice listening to people in an engaged way. It's also called active listening. Active, engaged, same difference. And this journey is not a race. This is a marathon. It is about the journey. It is about who you become in the process. That's a beautiful thing about this, is that maybe in another couple of years I'm going to be up here telling you a whole different bunch of things. Maybe I won't drop the S word. I'll take it back. I'll dial it back down. You know, and maybe I'll be a little bit more all right with who I am today. I'm all right. You know, it's about awareness. So how do we lead with authenticity? We create meaningful relationships with our team. What we do is what our team is going to do. Who we are is going to be reflected in our leaders and builders and sharers. So we want to make sure that we are doing the best we can. And when you start this business, you don't know everything, right? And that's okay. Like our best a year ago was not the best today. But my best today is the best I could do today. I have to know that too. And I have to show up. I have to show up for you. I have to show up consistently for my team where they need me, where they are, you know, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a Zoom, whether it's an in-person meeting, whether it's a live, you know? I mean, you guys know the Swans like a live video, right? But you also gotta set boundaries. Boundaries are so important because without boundaries, you can really get overrun. And without setting boundaries, your team is also not gonna understand how to set boundaries. So when you set those healthy boundaries, it's a respect. Setting boundaries is a respect for your time and theirs. It's a respect for your knowledge and theirs, okay? So setting boundaries, okay? You have to be yourself, you have to be genuine, and you have to share your experiences and strengths. It's like almost the first thing I said when I got up here. I was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Strategic, learner, ideation, you know? Know your strengths, but know your teams. Know your leaders. Because if you talk to them from your strengths, they're gonna be like, what's she talking about? Ideation. Sounds really way out there, you know? Meet them where they are. You know, if somebody has their strength, their top strength is positivity, which is not my top strengths. I don't think it's in my top 10 actually. But you know what? I mean, and I still consider myself a positive person, but I need to understand what that strength is so that I can help that person, okay? Because they're not gonna grow out of my strengths. They're going to grow out of theirs. Who's done the Strengths Finder? All right, yeah, I love it. If you haven't done it, it is awesome. It will serve you well in the world as well as serving you well in this business. It is extremely insightful. I have to resist the urge to taking these little tests, I'm telling you right now. I'm like, I want to do it again to make sure it was right. I just got to trust that the results were correct, okay? But it is very insightful, and we have so many great resources on dōTERRA.com. You can actually go and look at videos all about your top 5 strengths and your leader's top 5 strengths, right? Learn how to connect with them, okay? Get where they are, okay? It's not all about just what you know. It's about what they know and what they need to know and how they need to know it, okay? You gotta recognize people too. You gotta recognize people all along the way. You gotta recognize people that do huge things, and you gotta recognize people who are just starting out, because all of it is important. All of it's important. So you gotta allow people to see where you're growing to. I think this is like where a lot of insecurity comes from, is that, you know, we often feel like we have to know more and be somewhere different than the other people on our team, the people that we're working with, you know, and we are because we're different people and we're in different places, but we have like this protectiveness about us. Some of us do. Some of us. But, you know, sharing your vision not only makes your vision more real and more attainable, but it helps people to understand that they need to have a vision too. You know? You gotta share your goals, right? Put your goals out there. Share them with your leaders. Let them see you're working on things. Let them see what your goals are. And, you know, sometimes if you don't meet that goal in the time that you set, that's a great lesson, because guess what? That happens to all of us. We all set goals. And sometimes we fall short of meeting that goal. But it's not about getting to that goal at that point. It's about what you have learned, okay? And that goal still exists. Maybe you just have to readjust or see what's not working. Let them see it. Share your challenges. It makes us more real. This journey changes us because of the challenges. Those are something that are really awesome. And if you can overcome those challenges along the way, sky's not the limit for you. That's what we say. We don't say the sky's the limit because, you know, we're the swans and we fly, so sky's not the limit. Elena did that one. I'm not really sure where the limit is, or like we're at in outer space. I guess that would be more appropriate. But you gotta share your truth too. You know, be honest. It is our jobs to show up and to be honest, but to bring kindness with that honesty. We have to be kind. We have to be truthful with people. If people are not doing what they need to do in order to be successful, we have to help them see, help them get there. Be willing to have difficult conversations. Difficult conversations are part of life, but you have to get comfortable having them, okay? So share your truth. Ah, this is my favorite. You like my swan slide? Don't make yourself small to make others feel big. It's a huge message. Do not minimize your experience to make others' experiences seem bigger. Don't put yourself down. Don't minimize. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of your accomplishments. Oh my God, people are taking pictures of my slide. Small tear. Should get like a little tear tattoo. That would be like scary, actually. I'm not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. All right, well, I will leave you with this last one, because this is the most important thing for me. Because you can't minimize who you are. You have to be you. You have to be okay with being you. And be okay with things that you need to learn, too.